Greetings mortals, I'm here, doing a bit better than last time, and hopefully on more time as well. And don't worry, we're not going to be endorsing cannibalism or anything too abnormal today. In fact, I've decided to go quite the opposite. Now, this is a warning to all those delicate male egos out there. I will be talking about issues commonly known to be affecting women that are caused by men. I will be making an effort not to present with an us versus them mentality in regards to gender pronouns, but if your delicate rosebud minds and ear petals are too sensitive to handle that, now's your chance to go back into the garage and go work on changing a tyre or something. To any well-rounded and emotionally mature males who are interested, you're more than welcome to stay and listen. Just be warned that if I get a bit ranty in places, it's because I feel very passionate on the subject, not as an attack on the entire male gender, as some people seem to like to think. Okay, so today I was browsing through Yahoo Answers, seeking, as I do, a question that may stand out to me or captivate some interest. And then I saw the following. And it goes, is the hashtag #MeToo movement ethic becoming ridiculous by turning all spontaneity and flirting into contract negotiation? And that was it. No more elaboration, no further explanation, just this question on its own, and that's it. So first, I'm going to have to ask, what do you mean by ethic? What is this hashtag #MeToo etc. thing that I'm expected to know about or understand here? Because when I looked up the online definition of the Me Too movement, just to see what the official definition was, it was described as being, and I quote, the Me Too movement, or hashtag #MeToo, with local alternatives in other languages, is an international movement against sexual harassment and assault. The Me Too spread virally in October 2017 as a hashtag used on social media to help demonstrate the widespread prevalence of sexual assault and harassment, especially in the workplace. So, given that hashtag #MeToo was a movement started in order to raise awareness against sexual assault, I take it the etc. was given as an indicative of all things assault related? Nice. I can tell we're already off to a flying start. Which leads to my next question. Why would opening up about abuse and assault issues be seen as ridiculous? Why are you, the asker of this question, feeling so threatened by women speaking up about what's happening to them personally? Now, I have no idea who the person was who asked this question, and I highly doubt that I ever will. Yahoo Answers has not a jot as to who this person is, nor do any of the other women out there taking part in this Me Too movement. So, despite whether a person potentially doing or not doing anything at all, being accused of XYZ is a pretty confronting thing, and I could understand how a person could come away with a few ruffled feathers from that. Given though that literally no one on the face of the internet earth even knows who this person is, however, why are they feeling so threatened and confronted? If there's no one out there that knows who you are, then who is there left that could possibly be making you feel bad or casting blame onto you? Is it yourself? Are you the one feeling conscious about this movement? Does it stir up things inside of you that you'd rather not face or think about? Do tell, oh strange mysterious one of the internet. Okay, so we've gotten past the specifically vague generalisation of all things hashtag #MeToo related, as well as the suspicion that the poster of this question has a few things playing on his mind that may have been set off by a woman telling their story. So let's look at the spontaneity and flirting part next. At what level do you have to be so horrific in regards to supposedly flirting with a person that there needs to be a contractual negotiation in place to help keep you out of trouble? What are you doing to this person that's evoking a reaction so strong or drastic that you're then sulking about having your actions restricted? I almost feel like there needs to be some sort of clarification here, because, in my understanding, flirting is what you do with a person when you're playfully wanting to express your attraction to them. It's a fun and friendly expression that you create when you know a person well enough that you go, ooh, let's do this. I know this will make them smile and feel all bubbly. And if you don't know a person well enough, or if what you're doing has the risk of going as horribly wrong as you're insinuating, then that's starting to sound, to me, more like harassment than flirting. And before the not all men is coming along trying to not all men at me, let's just consider what I'm saying here, can we? Picture in a room you have a taxidermist, a florist, a vegetarian and a politician. You just happen to be a butcher. Now, As a butcher, you deal with dead animals, and chances are that you'd have come across a few taxidermists in your time as well, because both taxidermists and butchers like dead animals, right? Well, what you don't go doing, however, is flinging the bloody carcass of an animal you've just slaughtered at every single woman in this room you're with. You understand? Because please note that the taxidermist I have mentioned is only one out of 4 other types of women in this room. And sometimes you might get a room with more than one taxidermist. Or sometimes you'll get a room entirely of vegetarians. And I think you can understand without me clarifying that if you fling a freshly murdered animal dripping blood at a vegetarian, things are not going to go down very well. Heck, even if you're not a vegetarian, if you're a florist, the florist isn't going to find a dead animal useful. The politician will probably draft up a bill or bylaw against you. You actually have no way of assuming which woman may or may not be the taxidermist. But disregarding all that, let's just say you've murdered this animal and you've just gone and flung it at the one woman in the room who is a taxidermist. Chances are she won't appreciate that either. Because just because she likes dead animals doesn't mean she wants one flung at her. And that's where I feel like a lot of men are messing up. They fling their advances on women going, "I'm just flirting, wah!" when perhaps women don't mind being complimented or talked to or whatever it is you claim to be trying to do. But when you get all up in their personal space unexpectedly and just bombard them with something, quite literally flung at them, with no warning or indication that they wanted it, then of course you're going to be in trouble. And yes, as a butcher, you might like dead animals. Yes, as a taxidermist, you might like dead animals too. But if you're still struggling to understand this analogy here, think of some other random butcherman then entering the room and dumping a whole mangled deer on top of you. Blood oozing, guts wriggling, the whole 9 yards. And they just dump it on top of you out of the blue, then loom all over you going, "You owe me sex, you owe me a date, where's my affection and love?" If it's creepy for one male to do it to another, think of how you're coming across to a woman who more than likely has had some issue with unwanted harassment in the past, and now you've just come out of the blue at her. What do you think she's going to do? Respectful and nice flirting would be, as a butcher, you wipe your hands, you clean up all the blood off yourself, and you enter that room treating every woman in there like a human, regardless of what her profession may be or who she is. Then, when you've clarified who the taxidermist is, you go up to her, once you've gained a bit of familiarity there, of course, and you go, "Hey, I've got this dead body in my garage. I know you like this dead bodies. Would you be interested in this dead body if I offered it to you to stuff and mount or do whatever you want with it?" And then she can either accept or decline. That's respectful flirting. And just because she accepted the dead body you offered her this time, doesn't mean you can then start just murdering animals and flinging them at her whenever you see her next. Or that she will then be interested in every single dead body you may have in your garage. Or even that she owes you anything at all after that. Because flirting is meant to be a fun and safe activity between people who are obviously clearly okay with it. And if you can't accept that, then perhaps you do need a contractual negotiation. And by that, I mean a court-ordered restraining order, because you clearly aren't a safe person to be around if you're messing up so frequently and drastically in regards to how safe women are feeling around you. And no, please don't try blaming all our issues on us, or it must be something we've done. Women aren't some flighty creature that just feels things for no reason at all. Even if you claim to have never hurt, harassed, or creepily pursued the woman in regard whatsoever, if she's not feeling safe to be around you, then that's okay. She doesn't have to owe you her time. She doesn't get to just turn off and on her feelings at the drop of a hat, which have more than likely been caused by something that's happened in the past, or, if not, even just by watching the news or hearing other people's stories in general. Because goodness knows there's more than enough abductions and gunning downs and stabbings and just poor treatment of people out there in general. If you don't want a person to be potentially scared or wary of you, how about taking a minute and perhaps consider why they may not be feeling so safe in this environment, and then perhaps doing something about that if you're feeling so strongly about things. Or even if you can't be bothered actively going out of your way to discourage people's creepy and unacceptable behaviour when you witness it, at least respect others' rights to turn you down, not want to talk or be around you. And no, they don't owe you a reason or any explanation whatsoever. If you're not okay with Big Bubba in prison potentially doing it to you in an environment when you can't escape from, then here's a hint, perhaps don't do it yourself. I better end this here. I've completely lost track of where I was originally meant to be going with this, and have well gone over my word count for the day. Be safe out there, people, and until next time, ciao!